Hi, my name is Michael Robinson, and this is a love letter I wrote to the system. Called Dear System. If I can be your lover, then tell me what we are. Tell me why it matters, and if we'll get that far. And if I ask for money, then does that make me your whore? And if I'm good for nothing, then should I ask for more? Well, some days I feel like life is too short, and everything I do and say is wrong. He says, I can say the world's just passing along. Well, each day I'm just another cog in the machine, and each night I fall asleep in fear. But tomorrow I'll throw my body against the gears. Tomorrow I'll throw my body against the gears. If I could be your leader, then tell me where to aim. Tell me who to murder and where to place the blame. If I foreclosed families, then does that make houses homes? And if I draft some soldiers, when should I build them their tomb? Well, some days I feel like life is too short and everything I do and say is wrong. He says forever, say the world's just passing along. Each time just another cog in the machine, and each time falls to in fear. But tomorrow I'll throw my body against the gears. Tomorrow I'll throw my body against the gears. If I could be transparent, then tell me what's inside. Tell me why I tremble and why I like to hide. And if I speak the truth, then am I talking too loud? And if I ask no questions, why am I so damn proud? Well, some days I feel like life is too short and everything I do and say is wrong. He says, I can say the world is passing along. Well, each day I'm just another cog in the machine, and each night I fall asleep in fear. But tomorrow I'll throw my body against the gears. Tomorrow I'll throw my body against the gears. Tomorrow I'll throw my body against the gears. If you're wondering, the chorus was inspired by a speech by Mario Savio, who was a civil rights activist at first, and he participated in the Mississippi Freedom Summer in 1964, and then he came back to school at Berkeley, California, the University of California, Berkeley, in that September, and there was this big thing around free speech because the liberal college only wanted Democrat and Republican groups, and so they tried to ban civil rights activism. So Mario Savio was this philosophy student whose public speaking skills sort of led him to be like the de facto leader of this movement. And things first escalated when the police tried to arrest this one student because he was tabling for the civil rights movement. And they would have other people table for students for a democratic society, and there's actually this student group of assorted people of the left and liberal Democrats, socialists, anarchists, all types of activists and civil rights people, especially in this group called Slate, and they would table. But anyway, this one student was tabling, and police wanted him to show them his ID, and he didn't show them. And so they drug him off, but being the good civil rights activist that he was, he knew the deadweight tactic, and so by the time the police got him to the police car, hundreds of students had gathered around the police car, and they occupied the police car for at least 30 hours, and they would stand on top of the police car and use it as a podium, the soapbox. And Mario Savio gave a speech then, his first speech, and that was before then he had a speaking impediment, and he had stuttered a lot, but all of a sudden he found his words, and he gave the most eloquent, just unplanned speech that ever. Like, I wish there was a record of it. And then afterwards, I mean, people would discuss things there too, kind of like how people do at Occupy today. And then several students got in trouble for this, and right before they went in to do a sit-in and occupy this one building, Mario Savio gave this speech against President Kerr and the administration, and he gave this speech about this machine, which is where I got the inspiration for my chorus. And he said, if President Kerr is the boss, then the teachers are the employees, and if the teachers are the employees, then the students are the raw materials. But there's a time when the machine becomes so odious and so terrible that its very existence goes against the nature of your being, and you have to throw your body against the gears and the lever of the machines and make it so that unless you're free, the machine will not be working at all. He gave this beautiful speech that was, I think it was paraphrased and said it, but he did it a lot more involving than me. And you can learn so much from the past, and especially if Occupy wants to be successful, it has to look to the lessons that have been learned in the past, because it's making a lot of the mistakes and it's potentially making a lot of mistakes that have been made in the past that it doesn't have to make. I'm so inspired by these activists, and you should be too. And you should look into this and look into folk music that talks about the past. And thank you for this. Folk music is the history of the people, and that's something that needs to be carried on. And it's carried on today through things like hip hop and punk music and other things that are going on. And you're not going to hear a lot of these stories coming out of a lot of more mainstream media, not even indie media, or not like the quote unquote indie media, because it's sort of become corporatized almost, and folk music needs to regain that vigor that it once had in the 60s, except to push forward and innovate new things. Thank you.